Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show my electronics two-term project, which is extracting live data from the websites like Bloomberg.com, which I used in this project to extract dollar values, which corresponds to our Turkish lira values, and put those into a graph using some Python libraries like matplotlib for plotting the graph, and beautifulsoup4 for extracting the live data from the internet, and HTML5 library, which I used for parceling the websites which I used in this project. So basically, there's a write to file part of this project, which I used into my other code, which has created the graph for this project. And our main scope uses Bloomberg.com to extract data from the internet. So first of all, we should check our website to decide which data we should use or we should take from there. So let's open the website first. So we would like to extract the dollar value from it. And as you can see, it refreshes, so it is a live value. So just click and inspect. So you can see there's the HTML code for this website. And you can see our dollar buy value is 6.17, as you can see on here. So we will use that title, value dollar bit, for buying dollars. So, and it's class. So we would use class, comma, value dollar bit in our code. So let's check it out. And as you can see, I put a class variable in here, and variable's name is value dollar bit. For selling the dollar, just inspect again, and you can see the name. It's also a class variable, and its name is value dollar exchange. So I just write it there. And I converted it into a text because I wanted to write those data onto a file for extracting later for my graph, which I use on my other code, as you can see here. It just gets data from the text files, which I created on my previous code file in this file. And it creates a live graph out of it. As you can see, it's already working there. You can see that live data, which is extracted in 2 minutes or 4 minutes intervals. You can see the descending down or rising up again. And you can see all the console commands here. It's just extract the values. And you can see there are live data texts. So it is for graph. Those two are for graphs, which are extracted later and getting into a graph using matplotlib library. So nothing to look at here, but there is also a log file for my project, and you can see all the dates, times, and buying and selling values, which are pretty readable in my opinion. And after we extracted the values from the Bloomberg.com, I just wrote it into text files using commas for separation. But after that, I found a problem in my code. I wasn't able to use commas because Bloomberg already uses commas for separation, which is not a common thing in the whole world. They use dots. So I used also commas in my extracting code for graphics. Then I changed that extraction file to this symbol instead of comma, because they all scrambled up. There were like 3 commas in there. So I used comma for dot for separation instead of a comma. I just exchanged the comma for dot here, because live data comes with a comma, as you can see there. So I replaced the commas with a dot, and then separated the values with this symbol. And then I added the date and time writings in my text file, in the log file, not the graph write file. So it is a log file. You can see I added the date and time dollar by dollar cell values in there, but not in the write to graph file scope. It is just for sending our data to our graph code, which is in here. So in this code file, unlike the other, my main objective was to get the data from the text files, these two text files, as you can see. So as you can see, I separated them with the symbol and replaced commas with a dot. And then it just takes our data and sends them into the plotted graph, as you can see there. So these are the dollar values on the left hand side, and on our x-axis you can see the time values, like this 1508, 1510. You see that descending, rising, descending again, and zigzagging again. So it is of course a live file. It was just there as I showed you last time, and it just moved on. So it is indeed a live graph, like you see on those sites like Bloomberg. And that is my whole project, actually, yeah. So I extracted the data from the web. I wrote those onto a file for graph and file for log for users, so they can see the values descending, rising, or descending. And I put it into a 60 seconds interval. So every 60 seconds you can see those dollar cell and buy values in the console, but it writes every 4 minutes into a file. So there won't be any huge files like gigabytes or hundreds of megabytes. There will be just 4:1 ratio. So if there's a 4 writings on the console, there will be 1 writing on a file. So let me show you an example. You can see the logs there, lots of data, lots of things, lots of lines, but there's the data lines for the graph. You see that? It just compare it. So it's 1:4 ratio. There's lots of data and not too much data. And there's my graph, and you can use this graph wherever you want. You can see the values on the right bottom corner, or you can save the graph using this button, like just save the figure and name it whatever you want. We'll just say dollar graph and just save it, and see there's a PNG file on our desktop, and see there's your graph. Or you can just watch it because it's a live graph. So that is my whole project. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your interest, and see you later.